mindset. Where it hits, it punches below its weight. We have to punch, not above our weight. We have to punch, not below our weight. We have to increase our weight and punch the post.
ये हमारा सिद्धांत है, हम घर में घुस के मारेंगे.
You know, victims of terrorism do not sit together with perpetrators of terrorism to discuss terrorism.
नमस्कार, जय हिंद, जय भारत एंड वेलकम टू डेफ टॉक्स. दिस इज आदि एच. हमारे साथ हैं लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल दुष्यंत सिंह. विल टेल अस कि भाई पाकिस्तान से डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने मांगा एक्चुअली क्या है एंड इजराइल ईरान में क्या होने वाला है. ऑफ कोर्स द पाकिस्तानी रोल इन द वॉर. सर जी नमस्कार, वेलकम टू द शो सर.
नमस्कार आपको भी और आपके ऑडियंस को भी. बहुत दिनों के बाद हम दोबारा आपके चैनल पर आए हैं.
yes,
तो आपके सभी ऑडियंस को मेरा नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, वणक्कम, जय हिंद. और जहाँ तक आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है, काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट है. इस पर कई लोगों के कई अलग अलग इंटरप्रिटेशंस हैं. अब ईरान में अगर आप पूछेंगे उन लोगों से तो उनके जो वहाँ के एकेडमिशियंस हैं, थिंक टैंकर्स हैं, वो अलग सोचते हैं. पाकिस्तान से पूछेंगे तो अलग सोचते हैं, इंडिया से पूछेंगे तो अलग सोचते हैं, और अमेरिका से पूछते हैं तो कुछ नहीं सोचते हैं. क्योंकि अमेरिका में जो एडवाइस दी जा रही है उसके बरखिलाफ काम हो रहा है. अगर ट्रंप की टीम कुछ बोलती भी है तो ट्रंप वही करते हैं जो उनका मन करता है. अभी जो हाल ही में उन्होंने किया बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग है. मैं आपके जो सब्जेक्ट है उससे पहले मैं इस बात पे थोड़ा सा, आज मेरा आर्टिकल एक पब्लिश हुआ है फर्स्ट पोस्ट में, और उसमें मैंने लिखा है कि फ्लर्टिंग विथ फायर, उसकी हेडिंग है फ्लर्टिंग विथ फायर, वेस्ट सडन टर्न अराउंड ऑन बीइंग बेनेवोलेंट एंड सॉफ्ट ऑन पाकिस्तान. सो इसका सिंपल सा मतलब होता है कि कोई यहाँ पर फ्री लंचेस नहीं देता है, ठीक है ना. नोबडी गिव्स यू benefits on the platter without any expectations. So what has actually happened with Trump and Munir's visit to America, एक तो ये है कि this was a mutual benefit kind of a trip which took place. So both wanted something from each other. That's obvious based on the last few days, पिछले कई दिनों से जो इवेंट्स चल रहे हैं, अनफोल्ड हो रहे हैं. ऑप सिंदूर से शुरू हुआ था और आज कल ट्रंप ने शायद उसको एक्सेप्ट भी कर लिया कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने नहीं रिक्वेस्ट करी थी मुझसे. प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने अपनी तरफ से वॉर को रोका है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान को मैंने रोका है. तो अब उन्होंने थोड़ा सा अपनी स्टेटमेंट को न्यूआंस किया है, क्योंकि एक चीज तो आपको माननी पड़ेगी कि अमेरिका में एडवाइजर्स जो होते हैं ना, वो काफ़ी दे आर ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द डीप स्टेट. सो उनको राइट टाइम पे करेक्ट करते रहते हैं कि भाई इतने भी मत हो जाओ कि बाद में कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं रहे आपको बात करने के लिए. एंड इंडिया फॉर वंस, आई थिंक इन many years, has shown that it means business when it is talking to somebody, right? So therefore, when Modi refused a stopover, it was basically to undermine the double game which POTUS was playing.
खेलने वाला था. हाँ हाँ.
He was planning for a face-off with Munir during the luncheon hour, and to hyphenate India with Pakistan, which India will oppose tooth and nail till cows come home. मतलब even if Trump tries to hyphenate India with Pakistan, ये कभी होने नहीं वाला है. क्योंकि हमारे लिए पाकिस्तान कुछ है ही नहीं, वजूद ही नहीं पाकिस्तान का हमारे लिए. For India, Pakistan is a non-existent country which needs to be left to its fate, and we know what its fate could be, given the fact, the kind of problems which it is facing. But Pakistan has a very beautiful laddu in his hand. उसके हाथ में ना एक बहुत बड़ा लड्डू है. That very laddu is geographical location. and it takes full advantage of that geographical location, because abhi jo what is happening, ongoing war with Iran and Israel, do you think Op Sindoor was stop? I mean, the Americans told Pakistan to stop Op Sindoor just like that? They were so keen on having a kind of a detent between India, because a day prior, JD Vance has said that was not our area and we are not interested in what is happening in that particular part of the world. And second day, suddenly they became so interested that they told Pakistan, "Hey, brother, stop the war."
रुक
That
जा
was
जल्दी से.
that was with their future plan, and you found that there was an increased aerial activities of Pakistan, of US aircrafts over Pakistan. Noor Khan base, there are a number of reports. It may be conspiracy, अभी ऐसा नहीं मैं कह रहा हूँ कि it is true, because there are no factual confirmations by the countries, that is US and America, sorry, US and Pakistan. But the fact that these reports were coming on, which means that Pakistan was to be utilized for some things which the US had to do. So
कुछ होना
therefore,
था.
so it was basically an advanced action to tell Pakistan that if you keep on getting hammered like this, how will we operate? How will we get the airspace? The counter logic to this is, which is being also trolled, I mean, put out on the media, social media, is that why America went into stopping the war of Pakistan, because it's not really interested in Iran, Shiran, and all that. Iran, it can tackle with the existing bases which are there in the Middle East, and the two aircraft carriers which they have now brought in around the Iranian, sorry, Arabian Sea, which is Wilson and I think Ford, Gerard Ford. These are the two. Some people are saying Nimitz. I'm not very sure, but there are two
निमिट्स आ
carriers.
रहा है सर अभी. वो चाइना में डिप्लॉयड था. वो
हाँ.
रास्ते में अभी.
But Gerard Ford and Wilson was the one who were the one which have been moved toward this particular area. So what I'm trying to say is that the logic was that US doesn't need Pakistan to really tackle Iran. Fine, they have 40,000 to 50,000 troops in Middle East. Agreed. It's a confirmed fact. There are uh, uh, evidence-based sources to say so. They are based in Qatar, Oman. These are the bases where Kuwait. These are the bases where they are located. So therefore, they can tackle Iran existing. But what will be the implication? For that, you must listen to what Iran is saying. That should US join the Iran-Israel conflict, then US is open to attack on its bases. And you know how far is Oman from Iran?
सामने तो है.
तो उनका जो you remember the missile battles which used to take place during Iran-Iraq war? Silk, what was the missile? Silkworm missile or something like that. This was the name
Women's
of the
studs.
yeah. So those scuds were, of course, but the Iranians used to use more of the silk variety. So they have been a past master in missile warfare, and Iranians are believed to have enough stockpiles to keep them going for a certain amount of time. Definitely more than the Israelis in terms of stockpile. So therefore, the Americans will actually pave the way for attack on their bases, and they have said so in very clear terms. I was interacting, or rather, there was a program on Beyond in which there was a guest from Iran, who professor and a DG of a think tank, or chair of a think tank in Iran. He says that if US joins, then they are open to attack by Iran on their bases which are in the Middle East. So therefore, I think the Iranians are also very clear about what they will do should America get into this battle. Now coming on to Pakistan, that is the question which we are asking. What is the role of Pakistan? So therefore, Pakistan to me seems to be playing the double game. It sees an opportunity here, that this is the best opportunity to exploit the United States of America and the West in general to offer जितना भी facilities हो सकता है हम दे सकें, so that they get in return more money, more aid. FATF उसके पिछवाड़े से दूर चली जाए, नहीं तो उसको पिछवाड़ा लाल हो जाएगा. Because FATF has condemned the Pakistani attack on Pahalgam, which is a direct sign that India's efforts towards putting the FATF behind Pakistan is working. 3 बार it has already gone into the grey list of FATF. चौथी बार की लाइनअप हो रही है, despite the fact that it is co-chairing 2 chairs in United UN Security Council, one on Taliban sanctions and the second one on counter-terrorism. That
वाइस
was
वाइस चेयर है उसमें.
तो co-chair ही हो गया, मतलब vice chair means he'll also be equally effective. So out of the 10 countries which are there in this chair, vice chair is also a big kind of a position. So what I'm trying to say is that FATF is still going ahead. FATF is not directly answerable to the UNSC. So if the FATF puts, and they're going to have the hearing in a day or so, if the FATF puts Pakistan in the grey list, so मुनीर की मजबूरी थी अमेरिका जाने की, न कि अमेरिका की मजबूरी थी मुनीर को बुलाने की. एक बात मैं आपको बता दूं, इनवाइट और समनिंग में बहुत थोड़ा सा ही अंतर है. जिसको लोग इनवाइट बोल रहे हैं ना, it's actually summoning the puppet. Hey partner, come here, behave or I will sort you out. So currently Munir has been called there to be given a rap that you fall in line, give the entire support to America, whatever it wants, or to Israel, and the support need not be publicly displayed.
तो
Publicly,
एयरस्पेस यूज करने तो दे सकता है ना.
देखो एयर स्पेस वगैरह अगर पाकिस्तान का यूज कर भी रहा है, आई नो देर आर सम थिंक टैंकर्स और सम एक्सपर्ट, सो कॉल्ड डिफेंस एक्सपर्ट who are saying, you know, if you attack from the Pakistani side, you are facing the other side of the hill face of the mountains. Yeah, I mean, when you are attacking somebody with supersonic and hypersonic missiles and all, they can always maneuver to the reverse side. There are imageries which will be there and will attack them from anywhere, any direction. Those kind of things are not really important. What is important is posturing. Once you are postured from 2-3 directions, then the country which is under threat, वो फिर घबराती है. दैट बिकम द लिटिल हेम्ड इन. उसको थोड़ा सा वो लगता है कि भाई किस तरफ मैं प्रेशर, किस तरफ, वेयर शुड आई फोकस ऑन पर्शियन गल्फ, शुड आई फोकस ऑन द Israeli direct attack, should I focus on toward the Pakistani side? So these are the dilemmas which will be there in the mind of the Iranians. So it is basically from that perspective that Pakistan, US wants bases in Pakistan, and ये आज से नहीं है. You remember I have had number of programs on your channel where I have said that US wants military bases. After 2011, it has reduced the number of bases, and over a period of time, it's only a kind of a tacit or covert presence of the Americans which is there. They want it in a full-fledged format, and the Op Sindoor probably gave them that opportunity. And today there are reports, although not confirmed, that there are 4 bases which are now in the hands of the Americans. Nur Khan being the one in the show window, and there are two, 3 more. I'm forgetting their names, but these
Samugli
are
and Samugli and
even if you wish, I can go there. Yeah, that's right. So there are these unconfirmed reports that the Americans are in full control of these bases. Now, whether they are for nuclear asset or whether they are for Iran is immaterial. They are there for multiple purposes. They are there to check on China. They are there to check on Iran. They are there to check on Pakistan itself, lest it start misbehaving again. So to my mind, Pakistan was summoned by Trump. Trump wanted to somehow rope in the Prime Minister of India into this, to again hyphenate and come out with this so-called think that he is the architect of Sindhu. So with one step, he was trying to address the Iranian-Israeli problem, as also the recent decline in the US-India relationship, right? So what happened? India refused. So what does he do? He told this baby of his, okay, now you give support to me for my Nobel Prize. So Munir tells, okay, I think President Trump needs to be nominated for Nobel Prize for what? He's not been able to stop the Israeli-Hamas war. He's not been able to stop the Russia-Ukraine war. He has created a Israel-Iran fiasco now, which is not seeing the end, and it is turning out to be another Israel-Hamas kind of a conflict.
एग्जिट स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है सर, एग्जिट स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं दिख रही. एग्जैक्टली, एब्सोल्युटली
They
करेक्ट.
they are unable to have a kind of a end to a war plan. The only end they can visualize is run away from. Whether it was Syria, they ran away from Syria. They first collaborated with Kurd. They collaborated even with, I think, many other groups there. And ultimately, what they left them all in the, high and dry. They left the Kurds high and dry for the Turks to literally bash them up. So how do you believe such a entity? So they ran away from Syria, they ran away from Afghanistan, they ran away from Vietnam, they ran away. कहाँ से run away की बात करूँ मैं? So therefore, what I'm trying to say is, Trump has no locus standi. That is a different matter that people might still give him Nobel Prize. But if you have to really analyze his efforts till now, I don't see any kind of contribution toward the Nobel Peace Prize. In fact, he has undermined the ceasefire efforts which were going on. Whether it
ये
was Russia,
बाकी तो अलग है सर, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू, बट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन, ये कैसा आदमी है? नहीं, मेरे को नोबेल पीस प्राइज चाहिए.
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. That's what I'm trying to say. That this man is a level a level more than what you see. If I were to even simply rate successes of the previous chiefs of army staff of Pakistan, just it is not nothing to do. I don't support none of those jokers. I don't support any of the Pakistani chiefs of army staff, because they have only one agenda: personal image building, personal growth, personal benefit accrual. They have no national agenda whatsoever. But even if you have to compare with the past chiefs, I think there were chiefs who had greater success than this fellow. Yet he self anoints himself as the field marshal or field marshal, whatever you want to call him.
हित मार्शल सर.
You see, there is a problem of psychology as far as Munir is concerned. You must realize this. What is that problem? He suffers from a gross inferiority complex. This man is highly inferior in his self assessment, self personality assessment. And it all stems from the fact that there are people in the Pakistani army who feel that he did not deserve to become the chief. And like in any army, wherever we are, there is a trend which is there. How can a short service officer become a chief of the army staff? In India, it has never happened. It happened only in Pakistan. Do you think the Pakistani army officers emanated from Jannat? They emanated from the land of Sindhu River, which is the domain of Hinduism, starting from Kanyakumari to Sindh. That was the definition of Hinduism. It is not a religion, it's a civilization, it's a culture. They are from the same culture. So, if they are from the same culture, the thinking process has to be the same. That So right from the beginning, he has been suffering from this. He was removed as DGISI. That was the first nail on his head. Somebody actually must have advised him, ये किसको बना रहे हो यार आप?
नहीं नहीं सर, उसने उसकी क्या किया था, इसने इमरान खान की बीवी की जो
Oh,
इन्फ्लुएंस ऑपरेशन करती थी उसके बारे में फाइल लेके चले गया था.
I know that all that is known, but he went because he was that typically. But ultimately, you have to grant to this man that he managed to achieve his aim of getting into the history of Pakistan as a field marshal or field marshal, whatever you want to call it, and he's exploiting this thing. You see, he's exploiting this thing. So he is exploited. He's playing a fantastic double game with the Chinese, with the US, and with the Iranians also now. See, on the face of it, if you look at the narrative which is throwing out from Pakistan is what? We support Iran. We condemn the attacks of Israel on innocent civilians, etc. All these are coming out officially. Qaza Asif has said this. There should be the peace talks between the two. The war should be stopped immediately. And underhand, if you are so concerned with the Iranians, why did he go to America and have lunch with Trump? So this guy is absolute opportunity seeker. He has no ideology. He has nothing like that. He will talk anything required for his personal benefit. Possibly, he is also responsible for the Iran Israel conflict. Had had he not supported America, and to my mind, I am maybe wrong. This is my assessment only. I'm not saying that. I'm not undermining a neighboring nation because we are enemies. I'm just saying that suddenly the entire world starts showering benefits on you, puts you on committees where you are supposed to be a sponsor of terrorism. It ignores the fact that Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan. It ignores the fact that so many bombings which took place, whether in Europe, etc., or London, they all happened without Pakistani involvement in that. You would have offered some assurance, some help, and these help could be in terms of intelligence. Who has a common border with Iran? Israel or Pakistan? Who has a say with Sistanis, Baluchis? Israelis or Pakistan? Who attacked the grave? Who attacked the mass gathering at the grave of Soleimani in
Pakistan.
2024? Pakistan. I mean, intelligence of Pakistan, ISI. Who has provided all? Who has
ISKP, sir.
provided? Yes. Who has provided the specific information of various air defense radars of Iran to Israel? Logically, just think over it. Mossad, very good. I give all the credit to Mossad. But Mossad also has to work through someone, no? There are two sources. One by Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan is what? Pakistan's newly found friend.
Are you trying to tell me, sir, Israel has used Pakistan to Toko Iran already?
Yes. It has used the covert resources. Openly, nobody will say anything. You see, I told you, nobody gives you free lunches. It's always a give and take. You get $40 billion, you get $2.1 billion. China keeps quiet. It is not objecting to whatever Pakistan is getting because its debt will be served through all these grants which are happening. Chinese are also looking at it as a short-term benefit to its ironclad brother called Pakistan. higher than the Himalayas, deeper than the ocean, friendship. So, like in the beginning, I said Pakistan is born with this, or Pakistan was created by the British with this silver spoon in their mouth. That look, we are creating a geography artificially of a nation which does not fit any bill of a nation. The definition of nation is totally different. Definition of a nation is that you should be same homogeneous ethnic group, then you will be called a nation.
सर पर
Otherwise
इसके
you are
अंदर
a otherwise you are
ये
a state.
ये पूरे गेम
You
में
are a
एक बहुत बड़ा फ्लॉ है।
क्या है?
पाकिस्तान ठीक है, जो अपनी जेब में भर लेगा, सब कुछ ठीक है, समझ में आ गया। एंड इंटरनली आई एम टेलिंग यू सर, ट्रम्प के अकाउंट में $1 बिलियन डाला है इन्होंने, सो दैट आसिम मुनीर बैठ के वहां पर लंच खा सके। वो भी है $1 मिलियन क्रिप्टो करेंसी।
वो तो कई चीजों के लिए बोला जाता है, लाइक क्रिप्टो करेंसी हो गई। बलूचिस्तान में जो वो गोली खिला रहे हैं कि इतना 50 ट्रिलियन डॉलर पोटेंशियल इन बलूचिस्तान, and somebody is eating it, somebody is lapping it. Those are also in its own place,
चाइनीज भी ले गए सर, चाइनीज ले गए उन लोगों ने।
because Trump is seeing everything from a conflation of national interest with personal interest.
बट सर इसके अंदर ये पंगा तो सबसे बड़ा है ना, पाकिस्तान को एक शुड अंडरस्टैंड वन सिंपल थिंग, और ये बड़ा सिंपल सा लॉजिक है कि साहब आप ईरान, यू आर वर्किंग कि भाई ईरान को गिरा दिया जाए, लेट्स गेट द मिलिट्री एंड द मुल्लाज डाउन, फैंटास्टिक, बढ़िया है। अगला कौन आएगा? अमेरिका और इजराइल का टट्टू, सराउंडेड फ्रॉम 3 साइड्स, and you have basically caused the death of China in this region.
See, what Pakistan, you must also understand the psyche of Pakistani military officers. You should have interacted with Pakistani military officers to know how they are. First thing first, they are very short-sighted. They look at immediate gains. They are basically military officers. They are not strategic thinkers.
ये कंपनी कमांडर हैं, कोर कमांडर नहीं है।
बेसिकली चलो कोर कमांडर भी ऑपरेशनल ही होता है, तो ऑपरेशनल तक मैं मान लेता हूँ। दे आर ऑल बेसिकली ऑपरेशनल थिंकर. देयर प्लान्स लुक एक्सीलेंट, ब्यूटीफुल till they are commenced. Once they are commenced, you know, I mean, take your mind right back from past wars. I will have lunch in Delhi, breakfast in Rajasthan, lunch in Delhi. Who said this? What happened? He got stopped at bloody Longewala only, यार. लंच तो दूर, लंच भी अपने साइड में खाना पड़ा, ब्रेकफास्ट भी अपने साइड में खाना पड़ा, and finally he had to go back. Kargil. I mean, a basic person who has professional military knowledge would know that come summers, snow will start melting, you will have no water, you will die of bloody lack of water, which is now happening incidentally to them again through some articulation of after ops Indu. But that's a different articulation altogether. कहने का मतलब है कि ये प्लान इनका ये था, वी विल कट ले विद JNK, विल फ्लाई अ फ्लैग ऑफ JNK इन Kargil and then roll down to Srinagar, because from there rolling down to Srinagar is not very difficult. You are just coming from top down. Least realizing that Indian Army is a large army. It may suffer initially some casualties, but it has the resilience to absorb even if it gets surprised. And that's what happened. It initially absorbed, and then it unleashed the Bofors and the air assaults on the peaks of Kargil. And what happened? The water melted away, the guns started blazing, the bombs started falling and the infantry started rolling. Their so-called Radakar, then NLI and everything folded up. A 250-kilometer area folded up in just few weeks once the summer started.
नहीं वो ठीक है
Yeah,
सर,
we
बट
suffered.
इनको
We
अपना
suffered
फ्यूचर
casualty.
नहीं समझ में आ रहा है इनको कि भाई दे विल बी सराउंडेड ऑल थ्री साइड्स.
So Pakistan is known to be rationally irrational, right? And that's why I said they're short-sighted. They're short-sighted. And the worst thing with Pakistani military officers is, from the time they get commissioned, they are bred with this thought that Pakistan as a nation cannot be held together. The civilians don't have the capability to rule Pakistan. So therefore, it is bounden duty of every Pakistani army officer, not even Air Force officer, not even naval officers, army officer, to ensure that Pakistan remains intact, because the civilian hierarchy does not understand how to govern. They are not prepared for democracy. So even if the democracy has to be artificially created through rigging, through whatever they want to do, it should be done. So basically, they are internally orchestrating within Pakistan a system of kingmaker now. Earlier, they used to become the king themselves. Then they realized that all the blame comes onto them. If the public is getting hungry, if public is feeling unduly disturbed, so therefore they say, okay, take the blame, give the blame to. That narrative was also being blasted, but that narrative got resurrected by the beautiful game plan which this fellow played, Asim Munir, by giving that famous speech, followed it up with Pahalgam attack. You will not believe it. I have tweets in my handle. I may not, I mean, when I talk, I may not get 2 lakh views, but I get the direct communication from the powers that be. And the first, there were 3 threads which came directly to me in my notification, and they were not written by common public. The wording start, "Dear General." It's a comment by an army officer, and you can Pakistani army officer, and you can make out that it is a, who can that be? It would not be a Pakistani army officer or run of the mill. It would be either an ISPR guy or a our deep state. Dear General, for the first few days of Op Sindoor, we did not realize what was happening, but subsequently we got hold of our act and we started putting the narrative in our favor. Thread number 2, subsequently, be it economical, be it political, be it any kind of weakness which the country Pakistan was facing, the actions undertaken by Pakistan have been supported by the entire Pakistani nation, including Imran Khan. And now the nation of Pakistan is behind the Pak army. Third tweet, whether our economy crashes, before our economy crashes, indirectly he's trying to say, we keep telling that their economy is in doldrums, blah, blah, blah. So he's written, before our economy crashes, before the waters in Indus run dry, the war will reach your soil. Be prepared for a religious war in return for what you are doing in Balochistan.
Bring it on.
So these are things not written by common public. These are simply professional writing to another professional. Why they are doing? They're not doing because I am Jan Dushyant Singh or something like that. They are doing it basically because of the kind of position I am in. So they are trying to send these kind of messages. Again, few days back there was a similar message which came out. So what I'm trying to say is that Pakistani military is somehow living in this make-believe world that they are the keepers of Pakistan. They are the insurance of Pakistan as a nation. And I fully agree to that statement that mostly nations have army, but in the case of Pakistan, Pakistan army has a nation. It is perfectly fitting the psyche of Pakistan. Look, I have interacted with a Lieutenant General, so-called GOC 12 Corps on the Western Front, opposing Afghanistan. I have interacted with majors, I have interacted with colonels, I have interacted with Air Force officers, I have interacted with naval officers of Pakistan. During our various, we keep having meetings mutually during courses in our life, in our professional life, UN and other places. This is their common belief. This is their thread. This is their raison d'etre. So if your mind is radicalized by these thoughts, why are you asking such rational questions to me? That's the way they behave. And they'll continue to behave like this. So if you say to me that is there going to be Op Sindhu 2 type of an action again, I would say yes. And believe me, it will take place in the next 6 to 8 months. And so therefore, it would be foolish on our part if we are not prepared for it. And hence, if you think or I think or the public think that our defense forces are not being prepared for this, then they are also mistaken. We are fully cognizant of this kind of a thing happening again, and we'll be prepared for it. Okay, so Pakistan does what it does first for the personal benefit, with this luncheon. It's not a first time one of behavior of Munir. Yeah, Munir is the only chief of the Pakistan army who was heading their economic committee, and he was going around in Saudi Arabia, Middle East countries, what asking for alms कि हमको पैसे दे दो. Munir orchestrated this whole luncheon bid to convey to his country, like I told that thread, convey to the people of his country that these politicians, these bureaucrats, these diplomats of Pakistan are useless. If anyone can help Pakistan, it is me. First, they spread a fake narrative that he has been invited for the 250th Army Day. Then they must have realized, यार ये तो उल्टा पड़ गया. उन्होंने तो मेरे को ना invite किया. Neither was he seen anywhere in the US Army's platform. Then possibly what you are saying may be true. After all, there are many people who buy their lunches. He has bought his lunch. He has bought his lunch. He has bought his lunch little costly. But what has he achieved back home? That you must realize.
Sure. But sir,
he has undermined the entire governance structure of Pakistan.
The China factor. I mean, that's geopolitically very critical. China to bahar ho gaya.
China is not bahar. He would have taken the Chinese on board. And how to convince the Chinese on board? Yeah, we are trying to, kind of take maximum benefit from Americans also. Look, one thing I must tell you.
China ka interest Iran mein, if Iran goes down, China
One
loses
thing I
oil.
must, one thing I must tell you, if it gets any, Pakistan is managing to get any kind of a defense assistance from America, the Chinese will have an opportunity to price it open, see it, and devise methods to counter it.
It's also the vice versa, na sir?
Yeah, it is vice versa. See, that is the risk you have to play. No risk, no gain. Both are
But
taking risk. Both are
see,
taking risk.
I mean, the Chinese get 40-50% of their oil from Iran, sir. आज
Yeah.
बिकॉज ऑफ पाकिस्तान ईरान का आपने पूरा दबा गोल कर दिया है वहां पर. चाइनीज विल जस्ट टेक इट लाइंग डाउन कि भाई हाँ ठीक है यार, पाकिस्तान माय बेस्ट फ्रेंड बट ही कट ऑफ 50% ऑफ माय ऑयल.
No, see, that is where I'm saying this is our assessment of what the Pakistanis are doing. What the Pakistanis are selling to Chinese would be that, if I make up to the Americans, I'll be able to stop the war. See, देखो, in geopolitics, anything and everything is possible.
Yeah, well, and Pakistanis are stupid enough to make that argument also.
If the Pakistanis allowed the Americans to come and do a trade with them, cryptocurrency, presence in Balochistan, deal in Balochistan, how have they convinced? Even though the Chinese would have not known about it. You are saying that the Chinese have already taken whatever they had to take. No, sorry. अभी तक गोल्ड मिला नहीं है उनको, गोल्ड की पोटेंशियल ही मिली है. I was the first one to break this news on your channel and also elsewhere. अब आप सारी मीडिया लिखने लग गई कि there is a gold find in Balochistan. पहली बार जो मैंने बात करी थी गोल्ड की. See, there are a lot of things which are overtly seen. I have always said for Pakistan, it's a accidental convergence of interest of China and US in Pakistan. China wants, China wants that Pakistan. Your voice is not seen. Your voice.
How does China compensate for the oil? 50% of his oil gone. I mean, it's because of Pakistan.
It still has Russia.
So, but 50% आपका तो पूरा सामान ही झटके में आ गया. Your entire influence in the Middle East has got rolled up. जो CPEC आ रहा था उसका आपने alternative तोड़ दिया, वो तो गया.
In fact, it could be just the other way around. You have to look at a thing from a perspective. The Iranians may be forced to sell the oil to the Chinese at much lesser prices, just to sustain themselves.
I'm talking about the future, sir.
I'm talking of future only.
Why would America like Iran to sell oil to China?
No. Iran will be forced to sell it, no?
By whom, sir? अगर अमेरिकन बेस्ड regime अगर वहां पर आती है, इतना प्रेशर बन जाता है.
Again, there can never be a American presence in a country or any country. There can never be a presence unless there is a regime change, right? You mean to say America and Israel will be able to do a regime change in Iran?
May not be so, but if there is a difference in the this thing and America इस जगह पे focus करेगा, he will keep the ships in
yeah, he'll do a blockade. What stops Iran from doing the other way around? Why Russian?
Economics, sir. The economics just won't work. It's
but in dire situation, dire solutions come up. See, what I'm trying to say is that Pakistanis, whatever they are doing it for their own benefit ultimately.
Survival. Survival.
Yeah. Basically, whatever you want to call it, survival is also a benefit, na? खत्म हो जाएगा वो. So Pakistan Pakistanis are doing everything to survive, right? For their benefit, whether it is Iran, whether it is America, whether it is China. With the Chinese, the Pakistanis have this thing. Suppose ईरान बलूचिस्तान जो रूट है वहां से if the oil comes to CPEC, can't it go? It can go.
कैसे जाएगा? वहां बलोच बैठे हैं, ऊपर पश्तून बैठे हैं, वो फोड़ते रहते हैं इनके। आई मीन ऊपर से ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट इनटू चाइना इज गोना बी क्रेजी। आई मीन
सीपेक बनाए किस लिए?
सर
सीपेक बनाए किस?
मैंने तो
सीपेक हैज बीन सीपेक बनाया गया है फॉर मलक्का डिलेमा।
Fantastic, right? But the economics of taking up oil from CPEC
I agree with you. Why do you think wars are not welcomed by nations? Because the first thing which becomes a casualty in war is economics.
Yeah.
Today, Russia is selling its oil, but not at the prices which are comparable to the world. It is selling the price. It is selling at $66, whereas the others other oil countries are selling it at a much higher price. See, you have to pay the cost for war. And the Chinese and the Pakistani will say, well, war was not in our hand. War has been brought on by the Israelis. How is Pakistan responsible for this war? We are not responsible. But I am supporting somebody. Will they tell the Chinese that I am supporting you? You go on the social media and just see. Go in the official media. Just see. Pakistan at no stage has given any statement of assistance to America or to Israel.
चाइना को पता तो होगा सर।
ये देखो, पता होना और ऑफिशियल स्टेटमेंट देना दोनों में अंतर होता है। देयर इज अ डिफरेंस। अंडरहैंड, व्हाट इज कोवर्ट? Let's take this bloody discussion forward here. What do you mean by covert? Why do you resort to covert? Why do you do a covert act? Just tell me this. तुम covert act क्यों करते हो? Covert activity क्यों करते हो? Don't call it covert यार। अगर पता होगा तो फिर covert क्यों बोल रहे हो? बोलो overt है। overt तो मैं और तुम बना रहे हैं ना। देखो, overt मैं बना रहा हूँ और तुम बना रहे हो। You are making it overt, I am making it overt. But what is Pakistan doing? It's doing a covert activity. And what is covert activity? Which cannot be traced to me. I have a leeway to tell the Chinese, यार मैंने नहीं किया ये, तो मेरे साथ नहीं, और अजरबैजान वाले कर रहे हैं। या इजराइल की मोसाडी इतनी केपेबल है कि that they have these links there. It is you and me, we are trying to link things together and make a circumstantial evidence of the fact that the Pakistan may be addressing them because of the fact that the Americans have helped them. And we are saying that nobody helps a country unless there is a give and take. There is another logic which has been thrown up by the AI chat, which says that, look, America has only helped Pakistan in the overall interest of stability in South Asia. Ab kar lo baat. How will you counter this argument? So there are arguments over an argument. The Chinese can go. I'm not telling out. I can show you on my mobile. It's there, attributed to an article stating that the Pakistan is being helped by US to ensure a overall stability in the region, which is South Asia, so that it does not get impacted in other conflicts which are going around.
सर अगर कोवर्ट होता तो फिर आसिम मुनीर से फोन पे बात कर लेते ना। उसको अब डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के सामने बिठा रहे हो तो बेसिकली यू पुट अ नूस इन आसिम मुनीर हेड आल्सो कि भैया तू ठीक है, तू चाइना को संभाल ले, बट ज्यादा खींचेगा तो मैं गर्दन तोड़ दूंगा तेरी। आई विल कम आउट एंड से दैट मुनीर डिड अ सीक्रेट डील विद मी दैट विल किल यू विद द चाइनीज।
I'll read it out to you. Leverage. I'll read out this thing. Alternatively, first he has said what we have said. No, right? no free luncheon. Then he says, alternatively, it could be part of a larger strategy to maintain regional stability or to counterbalance other influences in the area. That is, the US is trying to. And other influences कौन आता है इसमें in the area? ईरान आता है और इंडिया आता है.
Russia, Iran, India, China, everybody.
Yeah. ठीक है. I should also consider the possibility of misinformation or speculation. Social media platforms like X have been rife with unverified claims about US intentions in Pakistan, indirectly meaning that US has no such nefarious intent. It is believing in peace. It wants to have stability in the region. This is what it means. So you see, this is called non-attributability. That is why people go in for covert. There are so many logics which can be put forward in front of the other country. Look here, मेरा कुछ नहीं है. Unless he produces an evidence, which unfortunately happened in one of our cases, where we had to eat. I mean, we had to suffer a little. So जब तक आपके पास evidence नहीं, you can keep harping on the fact that I have not done. There are 236 covert actions taken by the deep state of US to overthrow regimes during Cold War. Can you contest it? You can't contest it. But once the CIA director wrote about it in his book, now people keep talking about it. वो CIA के बंदे ने लिखा था. And book is edited by William Bloom. I can tell you the पढ़ो उसकी किताब को. But that's a book. And he says, since हम तो थे वहां पे, so I have told you, people have to believe it. If they don't believe it, don't believe it. Question advantage of covert activities is that it gives you a window to get out of a tricky situation in the future. So everybody is trying to grab whatever benefits they can from all this. Like that think tanker said, in Iranian think tanker said, we have not asked for any help till now because we know Russia is busy in its own war. We have not asked for any help from China, but they are our good friends. If required, we will request for their help. But as of now, we feel capable of handling Israel, and Israel cannot sustain us single-handedly. Should the Americans decide to step into the war, these are his words. I'll share the interview which he has given on the Beyond. Then America leaves itself open to its bases being under threat. He doesn't say I will attack its bases. And its bases are in numbers, total troops, 40 to 50,000 assessment. 4 countries have these bases. This is not assessment. They are seen in front of everyone that these are American bases. And they are not underground, incidentally. Israelis have got a way to live under that. For example, the casualties which took place from Iranian missiles were in the Bedouin area and the Muslim areas, because they have not been given this opportunity of digging trenches. They have not been given the resources of digging trenches. So those poor chaps have died. So geopolitics is a game for people with no emotional quotient. It's a ruthless world out there. So everybody is going to fight, and that is why we say that India will also have to fight its own battle.
Fantastic, but I think China is in my opinion, China has a bomb exploding in front of it.
Yeah, possible. Very much possible. Very much possible. I mean, imagine you are keeping Pakistanis as your friends, knowing fully well that Pakistan has a bomb in its hand in terms of Uyghurs. The day it wants, it can explode that bomb. थोड़ी support की जरूरत है. He has to just move some of his so-called state वो है ना, they are that the ETIM.
मिल जाएगी, अभी अमेरिका दे देगा उसको हेल्प, क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
ETIM just has to be given them funds and finances. and Uyghur will start going into a problem. Then Chinese won't realize what has hit them. That's a different matter. That as of now, Pakistanis are deeply indebted to China because of the kind of support which China has been given. Maybe the Chinese are giving the support because of this. They know the Indians can't help them in Uyghur. So the Chinese have played their game. Pakistanis are playing their game. The Americans are playing their game. Israelis are playing their game. Iranians are going to suffer for a while, and unless they find some way out. The statement which he gave was Iran is an old civilization. How can they even think of a regime change here? How can they think of even defeating Iran? See, no regime change takes place unless boots on ground go there. Name me one example. Give me one example. Libya, boots on ground, whether it was American boots or whether it was counter rebels who went, searched Gaddafi and killed him, and then only the regime change took place. You want to know Iraq? Boots on ground had to come, search Saddam Hussein, killed him, then only the regime change took place in proper form. You want to know more? Syria, the regime change only took place once the boots on ground from the north, supported by Turkey, with the current chap who is the president of Syria, moved in and threatening to capture Assad, that Assad had to move out. Boots on ground. Vietnam, boots on ground, they couldn't change the regime. Afghanistan, boots on ground, they couldn't change the regime. Out here in what do you call Iran, unless they put the boots on ground, unless they find a counter to Khamenei, a group counter to Khamenei, which rises up with large population upsurge and changes the regime like it happened in 1979. There is no such group as of now. There was a move taking place of Zoroastrians being awakened. Tell me how many Zoroastrians are there in Iran यार, जो बेचारे बच्चे खुचे वो इंडिया में सरवाइव कर रहे हैं. Tell me one counter group today in large enough strength to actually rise up. Yeah, they may rise up if Khomeini runs away from it, or if some of the very important power figures get out. They have killed how many? They have killed 24 military leaders, 9 scientists. Before that, they have killed Soleimani, they have killed the Quds commander, they have killed 5 scientists, including Brigadier Fakirzada. Has anything happened? It's a sausage factory. Another chap just takes over. Until and unless, and I keep saying this for Pakistan also, जब तक पब्लिक नहीं उठेगी ना, या फिर boots on ground नहीं आएंगे. Boots on ground would mean people deploy, Israelis go there. Hamas, why haven't they been able to change the regime in Hamas? Boots not there on ground यार. जब तक तुम फिजिकली कैप्चर करके इनको बंद करके अलग नहीं करोगे, तब तक दूसरा सिनवार पैदा हो जाएगा. एक सिनार को मारा था, दूसरा आ गया था, उसको मार दिया, अभी तीसरा आ जाएगा सिनार in Hamas. So firepower can do only that much and no more. It can punish you, but the regime change has to take place when boots on ground come, whether the boots on ground are of a counter-terrorist group, counter-revolutionary group, or a military. You give me one example countering my argument, I will agree to you.
I mean, boots on ground, military regime change, non-military regime change तो बहुत सारे हैं. There's this.
नहीं, but that is also boots on ground, na? See, Ukraine में why isn't Russia able to succeed? The boots on ground are not able to move forward. The public support is not there. Why did how did we change the Bangladeshi regime? Boots on ground, supported by public. Regime changed. The second regime change took place when Yunus Bhai Sahab has come. Boots on ground, whether it is in the form of students, and the army capitulated. Army said we will not intervene. Had the army put its foot down, I am telling you, there would have been no regime change. Myanmar, army is standing by. The Chinese are playing both sides. Yet, no regime change because there is a limitation. There is a stalemate which is happening. So, जब तक regime change ऐसे नहीं होता है, ऐसे punishment हो जाएगी, हवा में मारो, checkmate करो, इधर उधर उधर करते रहो. What? A regime change. And he said this. Iran is an old civilization like India. He hyphenated Iran with India. वैसे मैंने कहा भाई ठीक है, whatever you are trying to say, it's okay. But the fact of the matter is he's right. There are some internal, spirit. Every war, whether it was the First World War or the Second World War, the Allies have won because of Indian troops. See all the battles, Italy, Africa, Burma. किसने जिताया उनको? ये जो भारत के जो हमारे सिपाही है ना, इनमें दम बहुत है. छोटे लगते होंगे, लेकिन जब रिवर क्रॉस करते हैं ना, तो 100 करते हैं तो उसमें 2 पहुंच जाते हैं उस पार, और जब उस पार पहुंच जाते हैं, then that's enough. That's the end of the story. He puts the rope and thereafter it is a flood. Won't go there across. I'm not trying to be very jingoistic about it, but I'm just saying that there is a tradition and culture of every nation, and the culture of India is like that. Culture of all old civilizations have seen your ages. हजारों साल से they are existing. They will not lose they may lose an odd king, इधर बदल गया, वो उधर बदल गया, but their basic culture, basic traditions, they remain. So I think we should call it a end to that. I know it's not been a very.
We'll get into questions.
It's not been a very how do you say, encouraging debate, but I feel
this is a discouraging scenario at the end of it because but we have to figure out the best way to deal with it. उसका तो कोई problem नहीं है. And I think
Pakistan will play the double game. Yeah, it's been always playing. Agree to that.
That is
whether Pakistan will benefit, that is a different issue.
नहीं, वो तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. Pakistan has never benefited out of anything it's done. So
why are we even asking him why is he doing it?
No, not that, sir. See, my point is not about that. The point is about the fact that here is a country जिसको China अभी झंडा मारेगा जोर से, because China is losing Iran, China is losing Pakistan, and ऊपर से तुम जाके पहले तुम मुझसे भीख मांगता है, उसके बाद जाके अमेरिका में ट्रम्प की गोदी में जाके बैठता है during the time of this nonsense when I'm losing 50% of my oil. And I mean, Chinese are very picky about this positioning. मारेगा इसको बहुत बुरी तरह से.
Hopefully मारेगा तो अच्छी बात है ना.
हाँ, and we'll be watching like this.
अच्छी बात है if he's hitting. Chinese में hit them in a different way.
Yeah.
It need not be a physical hitting.
That's true.
They'll just
but
choke.
You know what? आपने जो अभी बताया उससे एक ही चीज और समझ में आता है कि these guys have a suicidal mindset.
Yes.
That's what was coming to my mind. मैं एक वर्ड ढूंढ रहा था कि इनका जो आप ये समझा रहे थे, मैं बोला यार एक कोई वर्ड होना चाहिए which associates with this mindset, and there's only one word that comes to mind, and that's called suicide.
I was interacting with somebody in the US, and they said that they have this mindset of हम ये कर देंगे, हम वो कर देंगे, और जैसे ही डंडा पड़ता है ये एकदम एंटी-फेस हो जाते हैं.
तो टाको है ना सर, वही है टाको, ट्रम्प है टाको, ये टाको टप्पू एंड टाको पाकिस्तान.
So जैसे ही चाइनीज डंडा पड़ेगा
ये फिर फ्लिप मारेंगे.
Then they'll again flip. they'll go down and say कि okay, sorry, गलती हो गई, माफ कर दीजिए. That kind.
All right,
And
guys,
there is another angle. Probably the Americans are realizing, sorry, Pakistanis are realizing that the Chinese equipment is not to be trusted.
वो तो सर रही है, वो टर्की में जाके वहां बोल के आया ना वो कि भाई वो थोड़ा कुछ एयर डिफेंस के लिए दे दो यार.
So that's what I'm saying. So it could be anything. Yeah.
बट गाइस मैं एक बड़ा क्लियरली बोल रहा हूँ एंड जनरल दुष्यंत सिंह आई नो विल सपोर्ट मी विद दिस कि यार एक भाई को एक नोबेल प्राइज दे दो यार. somebody please give him a Nobel Peace Prize so that he sleeps. बीवी भी परेशान है, पता है. मिलेनिया ट्रम्प सबको बोल रही है कि यार इसको कोई प्राइज दे दो ताकि सोए. वो सो नहीं रहा, वो रात को पूरी रात ऐसे घूमता रहता है, नोबेल 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 नोबेल. तो
उसका सेकंड टेन्योर है यार, आखिरी टेन्योर है.
हाँ, तो मैंने यार you guys
ओबामा को मिल गया फॉर स्टार्टिंग वॉर्स. This fellow is at least trying to stop wars.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं सर. We all, I think all of us need to rally and create protests and dramas, global protests. Please give Trump a Nobel Prize, ठीक है, so that he can sleep peacefully. And so guys, if you can also please contribute towards the channel using the QR code, या PayPal, या Super Sticker, Super Chats. Yes, new T-shirt, Make India Bharat Again, with the logo. So yeah, check it out. It's nice stuff. In our store, which is down in the description. Vinay ji, thank you. Aadi bhai, Munir ने तो तोहफा कबूल करवा लिया. नहीं यार, वो यूज तोहफा है, वो नहीं चाहिए. An average Hindu, thank you. Trump offered F-35 to Pakistan. Hard time for India ahead?
Not really. Don't worry. One of them is standing in Kerala.
Kumar ji, thank you so much. Ashwin ji, thank you. Do you think US and Israel will take out Khomeini? FYI, imagine my shock when I found out Khomeini family hails from Barabanki in Uttar Pradesh.
Yeah, that's true. Most of these Shias have their origins in UP, to either a Devbandi group or a Bareli school.
So, Vasu ji, thank you.
I hope people know that the fountainhead of the radical Islam was Maududi in Aurangabad. Please read, पढ़ो, आपको पता चलेगा कि कहाँ से.
We are the root cause of the problem.
Yeah, in the west it was Qutub, and in the east it was Maududi. Maududi from Aurangabad, Maharashtra.
Sorry, Jennifer, sorry for the question. Isn't Pakistan also having US money laundering confidential when they used to use Pakistan? They have a hedge too. What do we have? I hope we don't have that with us.
Why should we resort to this? Yeah, we really don't require cryptocurrency. We don't require such kind of methods to generate fund there. Our economy is going to be 30 trillion by 2047. We are growing at a rate of 7%. We are already the fourth now, incidentally. It's no more fifth. We are already the fourth, and third we are going to be very soon.
Under a year, sir. Yeah. Neeraj ji, thank you. US is the biggest supporter of terrorism. Koi shak?
No. You see, I won't put any country behind this. Every country is doing what it is doing for its national interest. India has been promoting an ideology of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but not many buyers are there for our ideology.
Call of Wukong, thank you. Why F-35 is still on Indian soil? Was it really a technical snag or a covert operation planned against Iran?
Look, these are all conspiracy theories, and don't link everything with everything. That aircraft got stuck in a technical snag in a kind of a storm which was brewing up, weather storm, and it was not finding it confident enough to land on the carrier. You've seen there were a number of carrier accidents which happened with the US and others, where the aircrafts fell into the water. We just avoided that, and India has a treaty with America on logistics and also MROs and other things. So we have just used that.
Actually, we should not come into that much into discussions. Apologies, sir, but Trivandrum was their backup base.
Yeah, so it is,
Oh,
and we are incidentally we are doing exercise with UK, we are doing exercise with Quad. Navy has been independent of all this halla gulla which you people are seeing. There are military exercises taking place between the US, Australians, Japanese. So just be very sure India is not a riffraff country. Yeah, we are a country with a proper plan. We are a country who can stand on our own, and we are doing what we have to do.
so
If there is any arm which can really teach a lesson, which is the Navy, Indian Navy, it enjoys full, I would say, dominance in the Indian Ocean region. Thank you.
so Ashwinji, once again, thank you. No problem. Already, couple of our companies already sanctioned by the USA. We will sell oil from Iran to China. Just a thought, Aapta mein afsar. I support that fully. I fully support that.
See, there are other options people are exploring. Even Venezuela is part of that option. The Chinese may also be looking at it. Iranians will have to find a way out for themselves.
Uh, Ahom ji, thank you. Sir, how will Munir and Paki leaders even answer the locals about backstabbing the Irani Ummah when their whole facade is about Mullah Ummah killing Kafirs?
Publicly, they have not backstabbed them. Publicly, they are supporting the Iranians. All their statements are in support of Iran.
Venkata Raoji, Jansa, thank you so much for this knowledge. ANV Network, thank you so much. Freshly brewed, thank you. When will Trump be impeached? Interesting question. Why will Israel keep going alone even after such ominous signs? Why Pahalgam terrorists? Bhai sahab, kya baat hai? Ek mein teen. Free with all our tech advantages.
Look, Pahalgam terrorists are, I think 3 have already been eliminated. 3 have
Acha,
been,
one is eliminated, sir.
either 1 or 3 have been already eliminated. The 3 have been identified. Sorry, 3
One
more
is
have been identified.
Adil wala banda to gaya wo.
Yeah, and 3 have been identified. They are being tracked. They'll be taken off. Look, it's not easy. You have to be in the military to know how to what all difficulties take place despite all our technical advantages, despite our force superiority. There is an inferior information asymmetry which exists between terrorists and security forces. We have a force asymmetry in the sense we have more forces, they have more information, less forces. So this
Sure.
information is something which is what actually kills us. Despite all technical advantages, these guys are also smart, yeah. They have to survive. So it's a cat and mouse game. 6 months is the average life of a riffraff
Terrorist.
terrorist, and if he's a commander, he lives for about 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Give that much time to the security forces.
Rahul ji, thank you. IEA admitted that there's no enrichment by Iran. Will the hunt still continue? Donald Trump is playing a very dubious role in time to bring in RIC to life. Sir, his own national director of national intelligence said there is no what do you call? There's nothing here, and then he says, "I don't care what she says."
Look, I don't want to go into this question. I have some personal information as well. I'll not answer it. There are some overt reasons and there are some covert reasons for people to go. They don't want the program to start. If the enrichment program reaches a particular threshold level, there is a level up to which if it reaches, they can generate electricity or sorry power. For weapon grade, there is a need for a very, very high level of enrichment. They may be in the process of doing so. They don't want them to achieve that level here. So before they achieve that level, they want to stop it here. And you have seen the reports which have come out of the kind of enrichment. They have dug it 100 meters deep. So what the Israelis have only been able to destroy the superficial reactors, enrichment plants, not the ones which are dug deep. And they have been consistently doing right from the Stuxnet attack. Stuxnet attack killed five scientists. and thereafter struck 2-3 times more. Now they are doing it in a concentrated manner. It's an ongoing battle. They want to delay the Iranian effort to reach that enrichment level.
So,
That's it.
Rani, thank you. Actually, whatever you said makes sense. Khomeini is not left with a successor. Mujtaba is there with proper support. Resistance will be shown.
And also the fact that their president, current president, is a moderate. That he's part of the religious grouping, but he's a moderate.
So,
And
what if all this folds exactly like what happened in Afghanistan and Syria? Just
let it fold. It will fold only if there is someone to fold it. That's my
no,
point.
there are people who are saying there are forces sitting in Iraq right now. There's a
May-
whole lot of people sitting in Iraq.
Maybe, but they have to be in large numbers.
Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are. I have no idea, sir. I have no idea.
The boots have to come, यार, चाहे वो
Yeah.
military boots हो, चाहे वो civilian boots हो.
कोई भी हो.
Boots have to come. Air Force
Oh,
can't change the regime.
thank you so much. Congratulations to all on the
Missiles can't change the regime, and so only the nuclear can change the regime when there is nothing there. Then anybody can go after the radiations have finished.
Congratulations to all on the third largest. As soon as we become one. Thank you so much. Thought provocatively, thank you. Won't Jalani Pakistan exploit the vacuum if Iran falls? That's Pakistan. No, not that much, but other players in the region, yes. What do you think, sir?
देखो, whenever there is a vacuum, somebody will fill it up.
Yep.
And in this case, more logical would be the more powerful countries. Pakistan
Saudi.
as of now is not Pakistan as of now is not able to handle its own affairs. How is it going to handle? It is not able to handle Afghanistan, yeah, which is being ruled by their own proteges.
Yeah.
So
AI, thank you.
it will be like Iraq or some old guards which have left. They might step in. Americans might step in with their military and then install a puppet or whosoever they feel like. Somebody like Shah might again be brought in. Shah
So,
lives in US. His son lives in US, so he might be brought in. So there are a number of options. Shah's son can be brought in, but the boot first have to go there, secure the Tehran city, get Shah there. He can make a big pitch. There are people of the opposing side also in every country, so that will be done.
AI, thank you. Free Palestine, free Gaza says, but why not free Ukraine? Egypt army has been deporting these leftist Muslim bhai bhai sirf Twitter pe baki. Sab kahin nahi hai bhai. It's a matter of survival. Naresh ji, can our AD sustain what Israel faced?
I will like to answer this question in a manner that we are cognizant of the situation. We are drawing our lessons from such actions, and we are making necessary arrangements.
Yeah.
You should have seen. You should have seen what the MO brief and all took place. What did they say? They said that we were able to upgrade our legacy systems also to defend. So obviously, legacy systems being upgraded is a temporary solution. So we have to get permanent solutions. You must have read it in the news that there are now better modern generation air defense equipment which are being brought in. So it'll take. I mean, the necessary preparations will be done. That's the only thing which I can tell you. But it doesn't mean that we are not prepared. We are not ready for such like things. And in war, please don't think that you will be able to live in your rooms. If a full-fledged war starts, we start digging in front of your house a trench and be ready to jump into it. I have seen war, so I know. My father told me to dig. I was 6 year old. I was a sixth grader that time. So I was told, I was digging in Pune Air Force Station a trench for myself. So you go to Israel, you will find what they do. All your basements, bunkers have to be made. Go to Jammu, go to Araspura, go to these places. They have these things in their house. Every family has it. War is a It's not क्या बोलते हैं AC room battle भाई. War is a dangerous, war is a serious proposition, and you have to be prepared seriously.
Sorry, my apology. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, he can get water from India. There's no question. India can redirect all our toilets towards Pakistan.
I mean, on a
All of-
serious side, we have told Pakistan that unless you show some positive movement on terrorism, we are not going to revoke this treaty being held in abeyance. So it will remain as it is. And
Sure.
Prime Minister Modi has made it very clear it's a bilateral issue. They do not accept any mediation in between. So I think Trump has got the message.
Yeah. And last one, Arjunji, thank you. Trump offers F-35s and air defense systems to Pakistan, Asim Munir in exchange for air and naval bases and a strategic shift from China. Thank you.
Possible hai, everything is possible.
So,
I mean, they are welcome to have F-35s, no issues.
and my apology, this one came up, sir. Tejasji, thank you. If Iran survives the current spell, can they unite all Islamic nations and continue to fight with China's support? No.
No. See, there is a fight for leadership in the Islamic world between Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and also to some extent Pakistan. Pakistan claims its leadership based on the nuclear weapon which they have. So these internal things will go on.
On that note, sir, thank you so much.
Thanks,
By the
sir.
way, poll results, मैंने एक poll डाला था, should Trump be given a peace prize? You guys have disappointed me. Only 27% of people are saying that. यार, guys, come on, यार. पूरा disappointment कर दिया. But चलिए, कोई बात नहीं. We shall talk about it some other time. Sir, thank you. Always a pleasure. Namaskar.
Thanks, yaar.
Jai Bharat.
Namaskar. Thank you.